Hey, welcome back to another episode. Let's play Dead Cells, the game where we murder crazy things that are trying to kill us while discussing borderline traumatic elementary school histories. Tell these crazy, weird stories about fundraising and leading into social withdrawal and malcontentness. Just a genuine distrust and lack of interest in social things that manifest themselves in personality traits that grow and evolve with you over time and end up leading to you being unsuccessful in business, socially, personally, all kinds of weird things. But yeah, we were talking about fundraising. There's an enemy hidden in there. This Frost Blast is doing decent things for me. I'm enjoying it enough to keep rolling with it. All the memories that a tiny little chocolate-covered almond can bring. It's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I love it. It's interesting. It's introspective. It's a bit of a reach at times. It's situational. Nobody in the real world cares about this story, but it's fun to go and look back on. Please, bonus against Frozen. No. It's more damage though, so we'll roll it. I think Twin Daggers was like the first weapon I ever had in Dead Cells, and I ended up loving it. Now I just can't get the timing right. And our timing, speaking of which, is way off. We were a minute and a half in and we've only got one scroll and no sight on the exit. That's sloppy. Sloppy because I'm choosing speaking over playing. Damage to... Yeah. Let's roll it. Possible bleed synergy in the future. Yep. So like my distrust again carried into that's a sexy bonus. By its nature, it provides more damage to fire, then it also doubles its damage on fire. That's a huge... I got an email. That's a huge deal. It's actually kind of an interesting email. I have to take a look at that later. Do I want to roll this? We've got possible bleeding synergy on this. We're not going to stick that Frost Blast forever. This balance blade didn't cost us anything. We should be able to get some money back for it. Yeah, we're going to roll it. We're going to be on the lookout for burning things. We're already behind. This is not the latest, but I'm down a scroll. So if I'm down a scroll and I miss this time door, that will be a 1-2 punch that I might not be able to come back from on this run. Yeah, but we'll see how it goes. I've got no fast weapons, so I gotta hit these doors in the right order, the right timing, so I can get to my time door. This is not the best. No, this is a horrible layout to make the door. 2 seconds. Oh, that's a pain where I should have pleasure. That's awful. That's an awful feeling. So we're short 2 scrolls. That's horrendous. So we're really going to be hoping for a burn synergy here. Yeah, if it's something as small as if we didn't have to climb that, if we hadn't had to climb that rope, that's where I slowed down. Probably would have been much better off. Oh boy. Yeah, so university is the one, or like high school, I like to say, I wasn't involved in anything, but I mean I was. Like I said, there was one kind of a sports thing. It was very small, very easy to have the juice be worth the squeeze, so to speak, and also suited my vision of not being. Now they're throwing bleed at us. You sneak. suited my vision of, not running in the mainstream, right? It was just out there enough to kind of thumb my nose at that and not be involved in it. But then come university, that was the one thing where I was literally involved in nothing. So we get all these calls and communications from the school that I went to. Oh, your time at Trent was valuable, and I just out the school that I went to. Well, there's a well-known university in Ontario. There you go. Was a valuable one, and lots of memories, and involved and met people that I had none of that. There's no main connections that I formed in that time that had any meaning to me. I don't look back on any particular time with any fondness. It was just, I was there because I had to be there, right? Because there was nothing else for me to do as far as I could tell, right? There was nobody to give me any guidance on that there could possibly be any other path that I could take at that time, right? At that time, that was just the thing you had to do to not be a loser, was to go to post-secondary. And if you were fortunate enough to have parents and be in a position where you could do that, it was not something that you had any right to squander by not doing it, and by not succeeding at it academically. And that's where and that was kind of the mindset that I had, right? I knew there was nothing else that I knew other than going to post-secondary. So I did it. I did the bare minimum I had to do to get out, and I got out. And that was the end of it. There's no rose-colored glasses there, no fond memories. I could care less that I had gone to that school over another school. Yeah, it's just the unfortunate reality. Not bitter about it at all, just literally just indifferent. It means nothing to me. And that's just fine. Again, maybe that's a malcontent thing to say, who knows, but that's just the way it is. Literally involved in nothing in post-secondary. But the city that I went to for post-secondary, I have plenty of fond memories of. The part-time job that I had there ended up leading to actually I went into that field first in high school at home. But continued it and really thrived in it, in that field, in part-time work in the city where I went to school, post-secondary school. And so lots of good memories of that workplace, the people that I met there and worked with there. Most of them. There's always one or two that are like, specifically the boss. But I mean, no hard feelings against him or anything. He was just doing his thing, and we got along fine. Just the way he conducted himself and some of the things was just kind of laughable. But good times, for sure. In that city and that profession, it's just goes to show the totally different. When you have that institutional sort of forced friendship and everybody be all kumbaya, kind of forced on you, and you don't have good experiences with it, but that's all that's around you in university and high school. You can see how the malcontentness can grow. And then when you have the opportunity to take an individual path and make individual choices, being the career, and really ultimately the city that I chose to go to school in was an independent sort of choice. Yes, look how far behind we are on brutality now. More independent approach. I'm going to carve my own path and do my own thing. Much more fond memories, right? Much more positive attitude and behavior surrounding that. And now there's not really a lot of room for that in my life, because I'm not in that place anymore. I'm kind of here on I won't say a temporary basis. I mean, I wanted to be here. This was my choice given my circumstances, but certainly not where I expected to see when I left small town Canada and went to school, I didn't, at the time that I left, I didn't expect that I would be back, you know, totally my own choice to be back, and made it and would make it again. But you know, the curve and the slow bend to the path of life that I took is not insignificant, right? It's there, it exists. You know, we can debate whether it is the essence of my being or is just kind of a thing that happened. Fine, but it's there, right? It's part of the story. It's part of the narrative that I get to look back on when I'm thinking about chocolate-covered almonds, right? It's there. It pops up. But the almonds, in case you're wondering, were fantastic. 10 out of 10 would raid a family's stash of chocolate-covered almonds again, for sure. Yeah, definitely worth it. How's our run doing, by the way? The real reason you're all here is the run, right? How is it doing? Well, it's not great. Missing time doors. We're behind in our stats. Synergy hasn't really popped up yet. We're set. We're poised for a decent burn synergy, but our gear is rapidly being outclassed. You know, we're moving past where the number level of our gear would be relevant. Unfortunately, oh, we're gonna get stun locked there. That's nice. Health, please. Money. We're only now getting our second item. We don't have a coherent suite of items here. Brutality items like I would have. Oh, come on. Like I would have wanted. But who knows, maybe everything will be just fine. It's like a pretty good turret, actually. Kind of get out of here, just speed along. This secret again I found. I'm finding this more and more frequently now. I enjoy that, but it never turns out to be anything all that useful. Bam. Whew, that was a weird little stutter we had there. But yeah, I think we've strolled down memory lane enough and gotten into my head enough. Kind of disturbing how that took a turn. It was supposed to just kind of be the discussing the idiosyncrasies of elementary school fundraising. And we end up down this really introspective path about who I am and what it means to be me. 10 out of 10. Would introspective again. Scroll, we need it. We need the brutality. We're really, really, really struggling here. Frost Blast is good. I don't use it enough. I should be Frost Blasting just about everything and repeatedly if need be, right? Like, I can Frost Blast you. You come out slow, I'll Frost Blast you again. There's really no reason not to. It's almost a timeless item, man. It's number 1, but I mean, it's really... I should be trying to roll up. Oh, it beat me. He beat me. Those guys and their counterparts in the clock tower, they get me. Disproportionate number of times. Disproportionate number of my deaths are to those sequential attack guys. Are there stats here on my deaths? Monsters. Here we go. That have killed you 193 times. No, I've killed. It's only killed me 10 times. 6, 5, 1, 2, 1, 10. That's still the highest. 3 on the 7 on the incomplete one. A little sick little worm killed me once. 3 on the spinner. Same kind of idea as sequential attacks, right? He spins and just keeps nailing you. 4 times on the assassin. I've only killed 1? No, that's not right. Is that right? Wow. That's embarrassing. But yeah, they have killed me the most. It's not as much as I thought, but it is still the most. 10 times by those guys. Oh, embarrassing. I'm glad those stats are there. 69 deaths. We should just end it right here. It is the perfect number of deaths. I cannot die again. Death by monster 67. Trap 1, fall 1. How do you die by fall? How do you die by suicide? Good question. What do we have for weapons here? Trash. Trash. Speed our way through. Look for scrolls. Look for enemies with stars over their heads, and that's it. Look for items. Level 3 brutality, and have touched at least one item. Look at this. Take it right away. No questions asked. We got a spread out level now because I'm going to have to go back. I should know by now that this only leads, when you do the vine, it leads to the sewer. All this that I'm doing right now is probably wasted traveling. There's a broadsword there. I don't want it. No scrolls, so I just wasted all that time. But live and learn. Here's our first scroll. Into brutality. No brainer. This is a close. Gotta be close for crits, Bo. I guess. Work our way through here. I'm gonna pay to take it. We didn't get an item in the other one. Should at least try for the item, regardless of what its numbers are. We don't need to fool around with that. We're running low on time. There's our scroll. We've hit all our beats. Just got to find the exit, the promenade. And, yeah, we're actually sitting fairly pretty here. If we can get to the exit. There we go. Our time, I think, is good. I didn't really see it, but it's pretty sure it's good. Yeah, 113 is fine. No problems there. We're going to take our cooldown. We want to be able to use that cluster grenade often as we want. Hit this time door. It'll be a time to put the cut in the video. We may never come back to see the end of this run. You may never come back to see the end of my psychological analysis. It's probably something that will keep going and going for the end, until the end of my life. I missed. Got half an hour. Half a minute to get back. Is that? No, I didn't miss it. This is not it. No, it's not. I've bunged it up again. Where is it then? It's not usually this late. Wow, this is crazy late. I'm probably gonna be okay, but it's gonna be close. Not gonna get that yet. Yeah, look at that. 5 seconds. That's unusual. I don't remember it ever being that late. Got our extra scroll though. This could end up being a decent run. We've got the makings of an early synergy. If we can work our way into that, we'll be fine. Could be at least to the assassin run. Fairly easy chance of being a to the assassin run. Apparently we've only beat him once, so the odds are not in our favor to be victorious there, but at least getting there is an accomplishment. But yeah, fundraising now looks a lot different, at least from what I can see. There is fundraising still. I mean, there's still work that has to be done, right? The government doesn't fund 100% of everything that the schools want to do. Fundraising has to make up the difference. I've been involved as a parent in some of this stuff, willingly, and then a little bit more hesitantly, and much to my chagrinly, and other times, but also voluntarily. Sometimes there's one main fundraiser that our school does, and my kids have been involved in for quite a number of years, and we gladly take part in that. And the reason why it's not much of an issue is because there is no real pressure to sell. This particular fundraiser, if you don't come up with enough people, it's a recurring basis, it's a weekly thing. Usually the people that buy from you are buying week to week, and there's no going around asking for handouts from new people every week. It's just you've got your customer base, and that's it. And if the school wants more, they provide you with the names and numbers of people that you will be supplying the product. The product. Well, that's what it is. You'll be supplying the product to these addresses, and then you go and do that. And it ends up being fairly time consuming. I don't do it as much as I should. It ends up falling to my wife usually to go with the kids, but it's not a time consuming or hard thing. It's just, a couple nights a week. It takes 15 to 20 minutes of your time. But that's like all year, right? So it's basically every week it takes 15 to 20 minutes of your time. But it's 15 to 20 minutes of, again, pressure-free time. It's not, oh, how many boxes of chocolate are we going to sell today? No, it's laid out ahead of time. This is what you have to do, and this is what people are willing to buy and willing to do, and you just are filling that need. Yeah, let's go with it. And I like that. I can get down with that. I can appreciate that. And there's some things we have to do on the back end once in a while, go to the school and help on the back end, like I say, to prepare for the actual front end stuff to happen. There's some work that has to be done. That there's a schedule that we do, and it's more time consuming, but again, no pressure. It's not it's not hard. There's no unknowns to it. You walk in, you know that this is the list of things you have to do. Bing, bang, boom. You do them, you leave. No unknown elements. Nothing left to succeed or fail at, depending on your own ability to sell crappy chocolates, right? It's much more laid back in that respect. So I can get behind that. And then on top of that, there is really nothing else on top of that. That's the main. Once in a while, they'll try to throw things at you. If you're interested, try this. And then you read and you look at the fine print and you realize what's actually happening is they're just plugging, their friends, basically multi-level marketing scheme. And they're trying to get the kids involved. Oh, yeah, everything you sell, 20% of the proceeds. I don't know if that's the right number. It was something that seemed too small. Big enough to be relevant, but seemed too small to be, motivated by... for the right reasons, right? 20% of everything you sell will go to directly benefit the school. And it's like, yeah, well, that means that 80% is not. And this is the person's name. This is not who's benefiting from sending my kids out into the streets to sell this crap. Not happening. Not happening at all. That one went back with a big slash through it saying not interested. That was not even entertained. It was almost... If my wife doesn't stop me on a lot of things, there would be a lot more back and forth between me and the school, kind of trying to put them in their place and make sure that my feelings on certain things are our feelings, the house's feelings on certain things are well known and documented. But for the most part, it's just, we'll just not respond to that. We'll not be participating in that particular event. And that was what most people did. It was overpriced crap in a multi-level marketing thing that the school was only going to receive partial portion benefit from. Now, is that being a malcontent, or is that being wise? Damage is not that much better, and that was actually pretty expensive. Who's to say, right? The malcontent is not the person that you want deciding what is considered malcontentious and not contentious. But it is the person who is deciding in large part for the family, which may mean I'm breeding a whole new generation of malcontents, despite me actively trying to not do that. Very aware of that possible trap. Don't necessarily want to get involved in it. If the kids want to grow up to become malcontents, then that's their right. But I don't want it to be just because that's all they know. That's all they've ever seen, right? damage on a frozen target. We're starting to ball out of control now. That's it. What? 175% damage on a frozen target. Maybe it's because they come out of freeze to... That's the problem that I have with... this is always money, right? Too late. The problem I have with the freeze synergies is that they tend to... You come out of them, and then... I don't even want to go over there. As soon as you hit them, they're out of freeze state. So, you know, you get one hit. Here we go. This is what we want. It's expensive. Sets people on fire. Which one do we want to get rid of? I guess, I mean, logically, we want this one gone, right? It's the oldest. It's the probably the least statistically relevant. So we go like this. Boom, boom, boom. There. That was ugly as F. All the way down there for a shield. No, but I want them. I want the money. Want the money. Yeah, we're so low on money. We're in a weird spot on this one. We're gonna put a cut in here. You may never see this again. I honestly thank you for going down this strange little stroll with me through the dark alleys, the dark corners, and strange doors, and brooding poor lighting of my brain. I've enjoyed it. I do enjoy that kind of thing. It is all dry humor, 100% true stories, but the humor is dry. I am self-aware. I know that it's ridiculous. I know that it's strange, but those are my fortes. I love dwelling in the strange and dark corners of the world. So thanks for being here. We'll be back with a new series sometime, but until then, thanks very much. See you soon.